Let me explain why the whole chasing 5D Ascension, love and light trend is absolute deluded, brainwashed bullshit. I've actually talked about this quite a bit on my page, but I'm always more than happy to re-explain this to newer audiences. The thing about a 5-dimensional channel or frequency is that in order to be 5D, in order to elevate to that dimension, you have to be dead. In order to elevate beyond a 3rd-dimensional vessel, being your human body, the human world, the things that you can physically perceive and experience, things that can be measured, things that have mass, things that exist in the human realm, cannot elevate outside of that human realm until they escape the human experiences, such as death. In order to elevate into 5D, in order to experience that channeled frequency, your atoms would have to expand to that point and separate. Because where your atoms are at now is at a lower vibrational channel, which is the 3D. That is not a bad thing. It's called the human experience. You would not be experiencing that channel, this vessel, if you weren't meant to. I think that y'all chase this conscious elevation. Y'all chase this mass awakening, something above or outside of the human experience that causes you to become an addict for higher vibrational frequencies. And the addiction within itself, the chase within itself, will never allow you to evolve to what you think you're going to. And outside of that, you're never going to elevate beyond that unless you die. In order for your energy to elevate, in order for it to rise above a 3rd-dimensional frequency, your atoms, your energy has to be released from your body. The only exception to rising or elevating above 3D would be astral projection, and that is because your soul is being elevated. Part of your soul is experiencing a rise, a frequency that allows you to leave your body. It allows you to experience higher vibrations outside of your body, but still isn't 5D because of that lower vibrational anchor, which is the 3rd-dimensional cord, which connects your astral self or your soul, the rest of your soul that's projecting, to your human body. That is the 4th dimension. That is the in-between. That's the closest you can get in the human experience to being 5-dimension. Like I said, in order for you to achieve 5-dimension in a human reality, in a human vessel or channel, you would have to relieve yourself of that channel. And that is not me telling y'all to go off yourselves. And if you think that, you're literally slow. So stop chasing things that are not meant to be experienced within this experience. Y'all are so insistent on leaving the dimensional channel that you are supposed to experience. That is called avoidance. And that is how you continue to have to learn the same lessons in multiple lifetimes, because you're avoiding the frequency in which you are meant to experience. You're gonna find yourself right back to where you are now, which is unhappy, unfulfilled, and chasing something in which you cannot achieve in this lifetime. You will find yourself in a spiritual cycle of not being able to learn your lesson and having that habitual lesson that you're not learning because of that avoidance, because of that elevation, because of that rise, in which once again you will never achieve. So it's just causing you to become deluded and delusional, which makes a lot of people drift into spiritual psychosis. And that's because they have to dilute their understanding of energy in order to feel like they have elevated. It is a delusional based high. They are getting themselves high off of delusion and gaslighting themselves that they are elevated. Once again, these symptoms can lead to spiritual psychosis just like that, because it's ungrounding you. In order to elevate to the 5D, you are not able to stay grounded, and we all know as spiritual practitioners that being grounded is one of the most important things in your spiritual practice, if not the most important thing. If you are trying to release yourself from that anchor, you are going to fry your brain. You are going to fry the ability to perceive reality in a balanced and grounded manner, which causes those delusions. The 5-dimensional frequency isn't for you until after you are released from your vessel, which means death. If you try to achieve that beforehand, you're just gonna make yourself crazy and you're just gonna fry your head. It doesn't do anything for you, it doesn't help you, and all you'll see is you will be left unsatisfied and even less healed than before, because you're wasting so much time avoiding the human vessel and the work that you need to do in this reality, this dimension, and that's going to set you back. You're gonna have to snap out of it, and you're gonna have to take multiple steps back in your spiritual journey and learn that you're not as healed or elevated as you actually were, and you were just gaslighting yourself or being gaslit by mainstream media into believing that you were, or that was the journey for you. Once again, this is a journey of pretend, and that's how a lot of people become shifters. You get the shifting community within this because they are trying so hard to escape outside of themselves. And if you do not know about the harm within the shifting community, then I highly insist that you go watch my many videos on it, explaining why separating yourself from this reality and coping with a made-up reality is delusional avoidance, and how that can be very, very harmful in your ability to deal with real life issues, and actually sets you back on your healing journey and does more harm than good, because you're not actually working through the wounds, but rather using a coping mechanism to distract yourself from them. I don't care what you say if you're a shifter and you're like, oh, but it helps me work through my trauma. No, it doesn't, because you're not dealing with your trauma. You're playing pretend in Harry Potter land. Once again, that elevated high, that delusion of trying to find something, elevate to something that you physically cannot do. You cannot physically or spiritually or mentally, any of the E's, actually elevate outside of the third dimensional vessel that you are currently residing in, until it is time for your energy to elevate and separate. You would have to disappear into millions and millions tiny little particles and atoms that would all spread out, just you think you can do that in your third dimensional body? I don't think that if you actually hit 5D, or the 5D that you think you're hitting, that you're just gonna all of a sudden go and float away into a bunch of little particles. That's not going to happen until your soul is able to relieve itself from the anchor that is the human body. Once again, the human experience is not a bad thing. That's why you're supposed to enjoy it. That's why you're supposed to experience it. You are here for a reason. Stop trying to search for things that are outside of your human experience. And that has nothing to do with deity worship or spiritual worship or anything like that. Y'all know I work with spirit. Y'all know I work with deities. Y'all know I do witchcraft. But you have to be grounded to yourself. You have to be grounded to your energy. You have to be grounded to your path. Stop trying to relieve yourself of your human duties and your human experience in order to feel spiritual or feel healed or feel elevated. You are able to do that as a human. And you will notice that when you stop running from problems and actually deal with them and go through them rather than around them, you will notice that your journey isn't going to make you feel like you're floating away from reality every single time you sit down at an altar. You're going to notice that it connects you further and makes you feel deeper, and that's a good thing. Stop avoiding your emotions and do your shadow work. Once again, the only way to achieve anything other than a third dimensional experience as a third dimensional vessel is literally to separate yourself from that third dimensional experience, which means leaving it. Which, once again, astral projection is the only in-between way between this realm and anything else. Outside of that, it is experiencing spiritual experiences, such as communicating with spirits. But once again, your energy is not going to elevate and spread around and leave. You're not going to rise to the heavens and go to the sky and stars. Your energy is meant to be third dimensional. That's a good thing. That means that you are human. That means that you are authentically human. Don't allow crazy psycho bitches on this app to tell you that love and light is the only way. Balance is the only way. Without that balance, without being grounded to your human experience, any type of spirituality that you are dealing with, whether it's religion, your own individual spiritual path, whatever it is going to leave you unsatisfied and chasing something just like every other addict in the world. Some people chase meth, some people chase higher vibrational frequencies that they will not be able to achieve until they fry their brain with all of the acid and can't wake up. By acid, I mean the acid that they're taking because they believe that it's helping them become more enlightened. Anyways, be a human, do your shadow work, deal with your traumas, and goodbye.